Well, she couldn't do it herself because we had a...
Hello. Oh, I haven't got any water left. Damn it.
We caught you all out by making it a bit early. Because when we finish this, Georgia, Lindsay's daughter, will be home for a few days.
Yeah. So we got to go early so that I can spend
So
some
we're going
time
early today. Yeah.
Right. Who have we got top of the show? Tracy Gray. Hello, Tracy. Good to see you. Charlie Brown's here. Hello, Catherine. Good to see you. Angie Medler. Hello, Angie. Nice to see you.
Hi,
Christina
Angie.
Reynolds. Hello, Christina. Good to meet you. Ooh. Hello, everyone, she says. Maggie Thruzzle is here. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Maggie.
Caroline Schillig's here. Hi, everyone from a hot Portugal. It's nice. Aston. Hi, everyone. Live Tuesday. Woo! Noel's here. Hello, Noel. Good to see you. Noel.
No.
Even.
No.
Hello from
No.
Philip, says Pia and Melina McCraws. Hello. So it might be just us little few this evening, you see, because we've foxed everybody and come on far too early. At least an hour and a half early, I think. So we've completely ruined it. Everybody in Australia and New Zealand will be fast asleep. They'll be like, what's going on when they wake up? Hello, they've had a live without us. How dare they? So what are we going to talk about this evening? Are you standing up or sitting down, Gary? I can't quite work it out.
I am standing up. Yeah. I'm stood up. I can't do that on a chair.
No, you can't. So, Gary, have you got any idea about what we're going to talk about this evening?
I'm just reminding everybody on the page that we are live now.
Okay. So everybody,
so then we might
watching,
get some more.
Have you got any burning questions? Otherwise, we're going to just go heading off back to the page and see if we can see anything on the page, because I haven't been in there much recently. And I know that we've had quite a lot of posts. But as per usual, our admins and all our wonderful members are doing great guns. And have you noticed we've gone up to 7.7 thousand members? That didn't take long, did it? It seems to be rising.
7.8 ain't going to be long, is it?
No, it's getting close. And it's incredible, isn't it? How word starts to get out. Why is that happening? Yeah, Pia says page could be good. Yeah. And why is that happening? Well, because the world is full of problems. The world is full of problems with your equines, and you go into various groups hoping for help, and it's not really that forthcoming until you finally find the Phoenix group, and then you want to spread the word, don't you? Because it's like no other group on earth. So I tell you what, let's go and have a look, shall we? Oh my God, I've got so many tabs open, Gary. I'm going to see if I can find.
I put up a post saying that the show would be, or the live would be early this evening. And I did that just over an hour ago. And I think there's 4 posts in there already.
What, saying where is everybody?
No. There's posts that people have posted in the last hour. So it's never ending, which is lovely.
It is lovely. It is. We've got 2
new
member requests.
Sharing all of this good information, which is amazing.
Right. Let's crack on. Oh, what am I doing? Ha ha ha! I'm looking down the page and not even with me. What am I doing? Stupid me. Hang on a moment. Just.
What are you on about?
I'm going down the page. I'm looking at it already, and you guys aren't even with me. I haven't shared my screen, is what I'm trying to say. And I've got people ringing me. Stop ringing me. Too many people. God, don't you just hate it when you go to click something on your screen and something else appears?
Pops up and you end up clicking it by mistake.
Just hold on a moment. Let me just get myself sorted. Come on, Lindsay. Come on. You can do this. I've still got a pink pointer, by the way. Could you go over why not washing a horse's leg, especially pink skin? I could. So we all have natural oils on our skins, don't we? Horses have natural oils, particularly horses have natural oils on their skin because they're outside, or should be most of the time. So underneath all of their hair, they've got that nice natural oily skin. And if we scratch their fur hair, your fingers go kind of greasy white, don't they? Or dirty. And that's because you can feel those natural oils. Right. So why do we have natural oils? Well, it's a water repellent, isn't it? And it also works as a bit of a natural barrier as well on the skin. And when a horse sweats, it has to work its way through that oily barrier. And there are various things in there, like latherin, that is like a surfactant that breaks down. I'm going off on one that breaks down that oily layer and allows the sweat out. That's why they call it lathering. They didn't horses. You say horses sweat. Well, actually, they lather. I guess if you're posh, you might say lather. But I, being coming from the north of the UK, I say lather, and that's where latherin comes into play. Anyway, so we've established the fact that the horse's skin is a natural barrier to stuff from the outside world. It's a barrier to physical elements. It's a barrier to microbial and organism elements. And it's a barrier to chemical elements, right? Especially things like soapy things we like to put on the horse's skin, or anything else we like to put on the horse's skin. So it's an incredibly clever organ. We know it's an organ. And so therefore, if we overwash a horse's legs, and what I mean by overwash, you could just be washing them once a week. That would be overwashing them, because it takes time to build up that oily layer again. And on that layer of skin, horses have microbes that are all over our skin that are doing their job, munching up bits of old dead skin and just basically doing their thing on a microscopic level. And they all are all part and parcel of helping that skin to be protected. So we come along and we wash it. And I know water and oil don't mix, but you can break down the surface of that area in the skin. And when you start doing that, then you can, and you saturate the skin, because there's a difference between the horse getting wet through sweating and then getting wet through saturation. Then and you continue to do it, the skin is struggling to build up its natural barriers. And so you can, in fact, start to make it a bit sore, because it can get chapped. And especially when it's done in the winter, when horses' legs are muddy and we wash off the mud, you're not just washing off the mud. And so the horse's legs can get chapped because it's cold out there, and we don't dry it properly, so it stays wetter than it should, and they can get chapped. And before you know it, little fissures begin to appear that you can't even see, and then little sores begin and more sores, and suddenly everybody proclaims the horse has got mud fever, because you've broken down that natural barrier on the skin and allowed things to enter and get involved that shouldn't. So that's why you shouldn't wash your horse's legs. And when I or Gary or anybody else goes, that's one of our trimmers that goes to see a horse in the wintertime, particularly when that's the time when owners will be like, oh, my trimmer's coming, I must wash the legs. We don't like it because we get drenched around the parts. You know, your chaps can only cover so much. You get wet bottoms. And secondly, it isn't good for the skin. So it predisposes that animal. It sets that animal up for having problems. And one of those is mud fever. So what we need to do is respect the fact that the horse has got an oily skin and a protective layer, and just let the mud dry and brush it off. That's it. That's all you need to do. Just brush it off. And what I do is I just bring a towel with me and I just wipe off the hoof. Is what I do. And then accept the fact that I'm probably going to get very dirty. That's why we don't wash the horse's legs. Did that help? I hope that helped. Tell me if that helped, Christina. Did you see the post from Ranjit Care fairly well down the page? Yes. Did you reply to that? Did you get a chance to reply to that, Gary? Because we could look at that now.
I haven't yet, but it is on my list.
Okay, so we could actually go and look at it, couldn't we? Well,
Sure.
or maybe you should do a video for that.
I think looking at the X-rays, it would probably be better for it to be a recorded one.
I agree. Christina says, got it. I'm in Florida and my gelding gets heat rashes in the summer, so I have to hose him down to keep the heat rashes under control. We have well water not treated. Any suggestions? Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? So you're putting water all over him. Do you know what might be better if you're drenching him? Because what came first, the chicken or the egg? If his skin responds to the physical world, which it is doing, is what you're saying, he's getting heat rashes, it's getting hot, and it's getting rash, and you're watering him down or washing him down, he's then losing that sort of natural layer that he's got, which is affecting the barrier. And then he's getting heat rashes and you're washing him and it's do you know what I'm saying? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? So have you tried misting as opposed to, I don't know whether you're hosing him down, but what about mist? What about a mist to cool them down? That really, really works. So you can get those garden misting things, can't you? And you can get them, because Longmarsh has had them, didn't she? She'd put them across the top of her barn.
That's right, yeah. It's basically like a misting system that you can put in for like greenhouses. So it keeps the plants cooler and it's a bit of a light watering system. It's the same watering system if you end up having droppers for pots or hanging baskets and all of that kind of stuff. But instead of having a dropper, it's got an attachment that puts a very, very fine spray. And what they do is they put them usually inside, so in a running barn. And then when the horses get hot, they run in. Or they go in and then they can cool down by having just this mist. And it helps to keep the flies off as well.
Yes, so maybe I can see you've said yes, thank you. Yeah. Hosing, but Mrs. Yeah, that's what I would try. That's what I would try. I would avoid drenching his skin. I would mist and let him do it when he wants it. So set the misting up. Don't tie him up, mist over the top of him. I would get the misting, get it all set up and go, okay, mate, I want to help cool you down. Do you want to come in and be misted? See what he says. It's just be interesting. Video.
I had this plan some years ago and I still haven't got around to it, is that I wanted to rig up a water valve that was on a PIR detector. So when the horses walked into the barn, it switched on the misters. But when the horses had left the barn, it would switch the misters off. That's what I was hoping to do. And I'm sure it can be done. I just haven't got around to it yet.
No, yeah, I'll bet it can be done. Of course it can be done.
I'm sure it can be done. There's nothing on the market out there. So if somebody out there that's really cleverer than me and got a bit more time, there might be a little bit of a market out there for you.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Okay, right. Should we get onto the page?
Good idea.
I haven't got any more. It's empty. It's empty. Let's get on. Share. Right then. Can you see? Here we are. Oh, look, 7.7 thousand members. It's marvelous, isn't it? Right. Let's just whiz through some thoughts on my mare's trim. Where's the pictures? I know the hind ones need to be touched up a bit. She used to be a bit sore. Well, can't see any pictures. Where's the pictures? Liv?
We need pictures. Sorry, move on.
I think she probably meant. I think she probably meant to put them up. But anyway.
Sorry, Liv. Add pictures.
Add pictures.
Have to be a new post now or get lost.
Yeah. Veltman says, hi from Holland. Hello. I hope you guys can give me some advice because DX is having his third abscess in 5 weeks. Doubting my new skills a lot now. Okay. DX is my 11-year-old KWPN gelding and him, myself for years the old way and changed to the Phoenix way in April.
Okay.
He has been, so that's what, April, May, June. So we've only been doing 2 months, haven't we? He's been lame the right front end of May, left front mid-June, and now again right front since this Monday. Sunday, no problems at all. He's had a rough winter due to a lockdown of 4 weeks at the stable caused by a rhino. Are you in Holland?
Pardon?
You're not in Africa, are you? We were not allowed to visit the horses. I can't be right. Oh,
I think
rhinovirus.
that might be it.
Rhinovirus. Maybe. We were not allowed to visit the. That's what they mean. We were like rhinoceros.
I've not heard of rhinovirus. Is that similar to what do they call it? What begins with S?
It's part of the common cold, I think. Rhinovirus, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Oh,
I think
right.
so. I think so. Anyway, where was I? We were not. After those 4 weeks, he was very, very cresty, even. Read it properly, Lindsay. He's in the field now at daytime, muzzled, in the stable at nighttime. Not optimal at all, I know. Thanks in advance. Okay. Well, the first thing that we have to say is what we must never expect is when we start trimming a different way and using I don't want to say method, because it's not a method, is it? It's a way. Everything has to be involved, right? The diet, the management, and the trim. And that all can't change spectacularly to be always positive on the healing pathway in 2 months. You're on the healing pathway, and nature's way of removing dead and dying detritus in the hoof is through abscessing, right? So we know that Dear Soul Dieck is a little bit crusty. He's also got a bit of a fatty croup here. He's got a bit of a fat pad there and one here. Those are the classic fad pads, faddy pads. Let's just have a quick look at his face. Hello, buddy. He's not too swollen above, but he's got a little bit puffy going on there. So we know that diet is number one. So not only is diet likely to cause inflammation in his feet, it is also causing inflammation throughout his body. And Christina, when we were talking about the heat rash, diet will be key as well at calming that inflammation in the body down. Right. So let's go look at the feet. Can you see this okay? Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Back. I'm just writing the name down, so I put a link in later.
Okay.
Oh, yes,
cool.
We can see all that. That's good. That's all good.
Okay. So what have we got here? What can we see? Well, we can't see an awful lot. It was a bit muddy. Top tip, if you're going to take pictures for us to assess properly, get a wire brush on, just a quick, and clean it up a little bit. Take the photograph. Take your seconds. So I can't really see whether the toe wall's on the ground, but we can see we've got a bit of a scoop going on. So my guessing is we've got a bit of separation in there. And also the fact that it's not got hugely big rings, but they are regular. They're regular. So let's move on. Let's move on. And then let's go back to that one. Isn't it funny when you can't see, depending on the angle that it's taken? You see, there's the split. You can't really see it, can you? Because of the way that it's taken. Right. So here we have a very common split down the front of the hoof. And I'm guessing this is a full thickness split. Will it go all the way up to the top? No. But I have seen full thickness splits all the way down, but they don't generate from down here. They usually start up here. So yeah, we've got a bit of a foot that needs to start getting healthier. It looks like we've been rasping like this on the bottom of the foot, so that we can discuss. We've got some delamination of the hoof wall that you can see here. Look at that. That's going on. Generally, it isn't. You can kind of start thinking to yourself, maybe we know why this horse might be getting infections in his foot. All right. Which feet? Let's go back and have a look. Right for the end of May, left for mid-June, and right for again since this Monday. Okay. So should we go back and have another look at which one is the right 4? Oh, hang on. It doesn't happen to be the one with the crack, does it? Yes. So I think we're probably working that out. Although we've not had an abscess burst at the top here, have we? Now that might be because he's abscessing at the back, which has got nothing to do with this. Or we've got infection in here and it's draining itself that you can't see, and it's just grumbling, going under the sole and grumbling. Can do any of those things. Let's go back a minute, and you can see the left 4 also has problems. So it's a process. You're going to go through a process. Let's look underneath. Right. So we've potentially got underrun heels here, which hopefully we'll get a better picture of in a minute. I can see, though, that rasping, I can see you've been having a good go at rasping it to the hard sole plane. I can see that. But we can also see there's quite a lot of separation. So first of all, we need to make absolutely sure we're going down to the hard sole plane here. But look at all of this. This is encouraging a pathogen party. We don't want pathogen parties. So the end of the bar should be around about here, and this needs to be back a little bit further. That's how we can tell that. And all of this down here is accreted bar material that's just growing forward, mixing with sole, and just basically being a cover for what's underneath there. Because we've got a bit of sole underneath there, we've got a bit of bar material, because all of that is just growing all together, and it's just a little bit of a mess. We can also see that we have got a contracted foot, and that in there looks sore, looks thrushy, doesn't it, Gary?
It does.
So,
and the bar, when you take those bars back, when I say taking the bars back, it's almost like they get shaped more into the sole.
Yeah.
And because they get shaped into the sole, that material that's actually shifted forward, or looks as though it's shifted forward, it's just confused sole, actually means that the bar actually comes back and only is about a third, maybe between a third and a half the way down the frog, which will also then give you an idea of how the bar is shaped into the hard sole plane. And then as you work that back towards the heel, it will really show you where that heel needs to be.
Now
the bars can be a really good guide as to where the heels need to be.
Absolutely.
A really good guide.
Yeah. And now also, so we know we've got infection up here. We know that we've likely got infection under the bars. We know that we've got a big crack here, and we've got a pitted sole that is possibly also inviting infection in there. So what we have generally is a foot that's not looking too healthy. We've got quite a little bit of separation. I am guessing that because we have so much contraction, that this horse has in a previous life been in shoes, or basically been allowed to have his heels quite long. So that would be interesting to find that out. So I would like to know what's going on inside there. Would be very interesting to see what's going on with P3, because this is the area around where P3 is. And if he's abscessing, and I can't see any breakout hole back here, unless it's down here, but you can't really see, it might be. And he's going lame, then this is an area of interest. You can already see this is scar tissue here. This whole area of scar tissue has had this for such a long time, and doesn't matter how much you try and chop that off or try and alleviate, it's not going to make any difference, because the problem is coming from the inside. It's coming from inside here. So what we have to do is go for this with the diet. So diet. and let's get that trim a little bit better. Fix this thrushy frog. Thrush cream, athlete's thrush cream, or ordinary ladies thrush cream, and antiseptic cream. Mix it together, squirt, squirt, squirt. Mix it up in a pot, and paste it in every single day for 6 weeks. Every other day for another 6 weeks, and carry on like that. Again, we can see. Look, you can see this is going all the way up into the hairline. You see, this is a problem. This is all sore. Very, very sore. The walls need to come down to the hard sole plane, because we are likely to be having mediolateral imbalances here, because these toe quarters are a little bit high, and also these walls, these bars here, which are wall, remember, are again, like Gary said, need to be tapered in. Okay, because they are getting too much contact. Let me go back to that.
Have we met this person on a 10-day group call yet?
I
don't recognise the name, but I don't get to, when I'm in the UK, I don't always get to join you, do I?
No, let me just have a look and see.
Because this person, I'm sorry, I don't know whether, because you're from foreign climes, I don't know whether you're male or female. They've completed the 15 and 10-day challenge.
Yeah, I think we've met Joran. I think.
Have we?
Anyway,
I can't.
Sorry, we can't remember. Right. So do you see how you can now, from this side shot? Great shot, by the way. Look, all these little horn tubules. Look at it. You could see from this side shot here that what is that contributors, or is that actually grass? I can't tell. You can see from this side shot here that there's a big lump there. It's not pleasant, and that's accreted bar material that's left. And now you can see just underneath here that this is where the pathogens are going to get in. Yum, 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 yum. Let's get in there and chomp away.
Why can't I see your pointer? Start waving your pointer about. So, I can't see that. Are you on the right screen?
Yeah.
So no. Oh yes, I can see the tabs that just popped up. I can't see your cursor at all today. Why is that? Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, it was really tiny. Now I can see it. I don't know why I couldn't before.
Weird. Okay.
So that's right.
Can you see it now? Is it little tiny?
Yeah.
Even I don't know why
it is little. It is little, but I can see it.
Okay. So this is a lump, not pleasant, and the heels are sort of scooping up. Can you see that? It's sort of going like that. You need to get these down further down to the hard sole plane. The capsule is going slightly in the opposite direction to the sole. Yeah. The heels are a little bit high, really. In fact, quite a bit high, I think. So yeah, got to be doing that. So what we're striving for here, you're getting this down to the hard sole plane, nice. But what we're striving for here is better health in the foot. Let me just take that down. Hello, buddy. Hello, darling. Hello. This is all, Mama. I saw. Ow. 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 It hurts now. It really does hurt. Can you just go in and have a look at my foot? Right. So what are we going to do? We are going to increase the health of this horse's feet by changing the diet, getting a better trim. If he is on grass, and I can see he's got a muzzle on, I'm afraid that's continually exacerbating that inflammation. He needs more fiber. Hey. And otherwise, you're always going to keep getting that separation. Also, I would be very intrigued to see if you would have or have got x-rays, because I'd like to see the state of P3 and what his history is as well. Okay, that's that one done. You can put a little comment in there, can't you, saying that we talked about it.
Already done it.
You have a discussion on rehabbing founded hooves using x-rays. Can it be done? What do you mean? Yes, it can be done. Yes. Trouble is when people use the word founded, they sort of imagine in their minds that I don't know what they mean. P3 is in the wrong position. It's rotated. It's penetrating. The word they use like to use sinking, which of course it doesn't do. And yeah. Anyway, Shannon's got in there and given us some information, I think. So it just more information needed there. And just goes to show how much better he is standing and looking being on a track. Let's have a look at him. Hello, my lovely. There he is. So this is
Right,
Max.
Max?
Notice how the person standing out of the way doesn't want to be in, can easily stand out of the way of him because he's huge. So this is Max, Suffolk Punch. And he, for those of you who don't know, he went to live on a track a few months ago, because he had all sorts of horrible problems going on. He's only about 8 years old. He was in shoes all round, and the traditional world had given up on him, saying that he really wasn't going to be fit for anything and only young. So got in touch with us eventually and put him on a track, got his shoes off, and he can spend some time without his boots and sometimes with his boots. And yeah, that was before the track. This is after the track, looking a little bit more relaxed. Thank you very much. And slightly before the track. So, no, you can't tell too much, but his face there is, let me out. Here it is. Just let me go get him. Dear of him. He's very, very chunky here. Look at his neck. Look at that neck. Whereas here, look how much weight he's lost.
He's doing very well.
Brilliant. Well done. I'm so proud.
Well done, Anne, and well done, Sarah, at New Moon in Wiltshire.
Look at his feeties with those shoes on. Okay, brilliant. Well done. Awesome. That's fantastic. I'll give that a little love. Oh yeah, that's you. Well done.
That's me.
Megan Bottomley. Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Loving this group so far. Thank you very much. And learning so much. I have decided I would like x-rays of my horse's hooves. Purely out of interest as to how his pedal bone sits, so that I can discuss this with the equine podiatrist. Good idea. However, the vets aren't overly keen to get me booked in, as they aren't diagnostic x-rays. Well, does it? Yes, they are.
Of course
You're
they are.
going in there to have a look at the health of your horse's foot, as he's not under their care for laminitis or anything. And some quotes I've managed to get seem extremely expensive. Well, ain't that the truth? I mean, shocking nowadays. And it depends where you go. Some of them charge a fortune, others are a mid-fortune, other ones are breaking the bank. Right? It's either, oh my God, holy hit, and I'm going to faint type of charging that we have. Charging like a bull. Are there such things as private companies that will just take hoof x-rays? There used to be, but they had to be referred by vets. Nowadays, vets do it. But they're tightening up, I think, on just willy-nilly x-raying. So that might be why you're having a bit of a problem. They are starting to tighten up a little bit on that. But you are well within your right to say, I want to see what's going on in my horse's feet. I need to see the health of the foot. Do I need to persist with the vet and save up, and any help or guidance appreciated? Yeah. Well, that's cheap. £50 an x-ray. That really is cheap. I'll give you a little hug. Right. Gabriella. Hi. What are your recommendations for preventing white line disease or abscesses after laminitis? Is there anything that we can do before tea tree or probiotics, artemon clay, spraying the ground with good bacteria? Oh, that's quite sweet. Or antiseptics. The lot my mares live on is dry, gets just wet and with after heavy rains. They don't have thrush. They live out 24/7, but every summer when it gets hot after wet weather, problems appear. That will because they are likely to have holes in their feet. So because if you have a sealed capsule, like with the horse that we were looking at, Yoren's horse, If you don't have a sealed capsule, then the problem that you've got is that these tiny little things that you cannot even imagine how small they are, we can't see them, go trundling in there with their party hats on and their little party bags, and they go in there and they're all dressed up in their party outfits, and away they go, going, hey, look, this is at this place here, it's open up for tonight, in we go, and they have a party. Unfortunately, just like every party, they don't necessarily behave themselves, and then they get into trouble, and then the police are called, and it goes like completely nuts. So what you need to do is make sure that you've got your horse's foot health as good as it can be. How do we do that? It really comes from the outside, not the inside, not the outside. Sure, you can do topical things like put tea tree oil on and or try to put probiotics in, but the thing is, hay is your biggest ally against everything, because it's a prebiotic, and a prebiotic means that it is going to encourage the bacteria, the good bacteria that are already in the gut, to flourish more, because they need more of them to break down more of that food or fiber that you're putting in. So make sure that they never run out of hay, and that the hay is the right kind of hay. Don't be overdoing other feeds, and also make sure that they're getting the right kind of trim. And if they've had laminitis and they've had abscesses and white line disease, it's all because they've got separation, because they've got unhealthy feet. So if we're looking at what caused that laminitis and stretch and issues in the first place, was it incorrect hoof care, where we've got P3 being put in the wrong position, causing issues in the foot? Or was it just purely diet and management? Usually it's a combination of both. And so that your what you need to work on is both of those things. So that's the answer, Gabriella. And we'd love some photographs, please. Photos, photos, photos. Photos get people to respond. Always get people to respond. If you want somebody to say something, look, see, put a photo. Everybody always loves a photo. Hello all, my boy has been struggling with laminitis since October and severely metabolically challenged. How do we know? I've posted before and I have uploaded, but this is just a zoo pharmacognosy question. Ooh, this is one for you, Gary. He has been selecting burdock root for weeks. I give him a handful of a day together with dandelion and some nettles, other firm favourites. The burdock is always his first call, and he looks like he always wants more. The guide on the bag says like 25 to 45 grams per day, but I wondered if I should let him eat as much as he wants. Can he take too much, or will it help him to just take it? Let him just take it. In other words, self-select. Thanks so much in advance. Go, Gary.
Hi, Sophie. I think you messaged me today too. Oh, let me switch my light on. I look a bit dark. And I haven't got back to you yet. So this saved me a job. Burdock, because he's had some challenges, like you said. It's full of antioxidants, and it's also an anti-inflammatory, so that makes huge amount of sense. Also with the nettles, sometimes with these anti-inflammatories, even though they're a natural painkiller, they can affect the stomach and the liver. So very often animals like to select other things that support those organs within the body, so it means that they can take more pain relief. They're very clever like that. These animals have been on the planet and evolved over 55 million years. They're bloody awesome, aren't they? So yes, but when we're talking about self-selection, people put these amounts on packets with very little scientific, well, let's face it, zero scientific evidence. Zero, because there isn't anything.
Because how, Gary, can you say, right? Because we know this, because the amount of time we've asked animals to self-select, right? say you've got
Yes.
5 horses in front of you, and you go to
Yeah.
give them something, and only one horse even sniffs at it. So
Yes.
yeah, they go, well, this is how much they need per day, and you're like, but that horse, 4 of them weren't even interested.
Weren't even interested.
But I'm just going to put it in their feed anyway.
It's great that you're offering it on a self-selection basis.
Yeah.
So that's a big tick in the box.
Absolute massive
You're not
tick.
offering
Well
it as a packet of mixed medicinal plant extracts, because when it's mixed with lots of other things, they can't choose. So that's another big tick in the box. And with regards to if he's actually really, really wanting burdock, I would let him have as much as he needs. And what you tend to find is, because animals are really clever at dosing, I would offer him a certain amount, then I'd wait a few minutes so his body has time to process, and then those signals can get from his body to his brain, because it's all to do with smell and it being it's almost like if you were to have licorice root, and we do this as a human test. I've done it with Lindsay plenty of times, and you end up having this licorice root, not the sweet stuff that the black stuff that's covered in sugar and you stick it in sherbet. Yummy. But it's the raw ingredient. And you stick your finger in and you just put a little bit on your tongue if you like the smell of it. And then once you do that and you think, oh my goodness, it is really sweet, but I don't like licorice as a rule. And I say, okay, well, have a little bit more then. And you put a little bit more on your tongue and you keep going. And Lindsay says, oh my God, that's really yummy. And then she'll turn around and I say, well, keep going then. And then usually by the 3rd or the 4th, she said, oh my God, that's turned bitter. It's like curry powder. It's bloody horrible.
It's disgusting.
That's your body. That's your body telling you that you have had your dose of that medicinal extract. And of course, the animal, this is going into a bit of a zoo cut pharmacognosy lesson now. It's not only going through the mouth that they can self-select. It's not only through the mouth that they can select. They can just inhale like essential oils and stuff like that, because then that goes through the olfactory bulb and it can trigger things in the brain without even getting to that part of the body. They can also select by using the base of their tongue for certain constituents, because when it's in the base of the tongue, it goes straight into the blood. A bit like GTN spray for people with heart problems. It gets straight into the bloodstream really, really quickly. So the way that horses and all animals select and dose themselves is absolutely fascinating. Even topically, they'll use their lips and use things that they can get onto their lips. And then if they've got a little bit of pain, let's say, they might touch a bit of peppermint and then rub it on the part of the body on the outside that's got a little bit of pain. It's absolutely fascinating. I've gone off on one. With regards to dosing, the animal is very capable of dosing itself. There is one caveat, and this is the major safety concern when we're using these quite powerful medicinal plant extracts. They have to have free access to good quality fibrous forage. Yep. Obviously, that's for horses. But if we were working with dogs or cats, it's usually a good 2 or 3 hours that you end up offering stuff that's after they've had a meal. So they're not just, oh my God, I'm hungry. Because then they can actually do things that, or take things because of their calorific, albeit very small value, because they're hungry.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing.
Self-selection is amazing, but it takes a bit of time. It takes a bit
Where
of
are we?
time.
Let's go back to here. Okay, brilliant. So I hope that helped. I hope that helped. That helped. We have some more people coming in. Let's just stop sharing for a minute. Stop sharing. By the way, I went and had a look about. I was like, it's rhinovirus. I'm gonna, because that in with us is colds, rhinosinusitis, etc. Is that right? But in the equines, Gary, it's herpes. It's a
Right.
herpes virus, primarily spread by direct
Okay.
horse-to-horse contact via transfer of respiratory secretions. So, like a cold, it's spread. It's an air virus, and it can spread up to about 30 yards. It's considered the maximal distance of EHV infected droplets can travel after a cough or a sneeze. So it's like our cold, but according to, and it's basically equine flu. It apparently they think it was originally spread from birds to horses, abbreviated
Oh, right.
EHV because it's equine influenza viruses, EIV. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, that's it. There you go. All these horrible
The
things
herpes
that,
virus, in humans, I'm not so sure about horses, but herpes virus in humans, so similar to cold sores,
yeah.
German chamomile is amazing.
Yes. So there we go. I just thought I'd pop that one in there because I did think, because it did make
That's
me
good.
laugh, that one. Oh, let's swap us over again because that feels weird. There we go. That's better. Right. La 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 la. Susan Mitchell's here. Hello, Susan. Good to see you. Jenny's here. Jenny Ackerstrom. Hello. Join now, she says. Katie Shorthouse is here. Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Anne Blake. Hello. We talked about Max a minute ago, only briefly. Susan says, when did this start? The time changed to 7. I don't think I got a notification. Is this now permanent? No, it's just because my daughter's coming home from Paris. My oldest daughter's coming home from Paris tonight, and I want to spend a bit of time with her because by the time I finish this live, she'll be nearly here. So that's why we're a little bit earlier. Normal time will commence on Thursday and Friday. There will be no live tomorrow, guys, because we have a live lesson with one of our student groups. So we're busy. Vivian says, hello, everyone. I'm late and I will catch up later. Marvelous, because I bet you're making your dinner. Right. Should we carry on? Let's have another 5 minutes and then I think we'll be done. So let's go back in and have another look. Share. We like looking at photos, don't we? That's a lovely photo. Heather Stroll. Hi, this is me with my boy Dice. Isn't he lovely? He is a walker.
Handsome.
Had him for 16 years. Always barefoot, never a lame step. After this year, he gained so much weight. We only have 3 acres and the horses get limited grass. They live in large dry lots, but after Easter, I noticed him being a tad bit off on the right front. Had ridden him at a walk and he was fine, always riding cavallo boots. Anyway, took him to the vet. He has laminitis, 10-degree rotation and high insulin levels. He is on, do you see, Gary? Do you see where they get that connection? Where they've, and yet, so I just want to stop sharing and talk to you about something. So they go and test a horse and they find that he's got higher than normal, above the normal range of insulin levels, right? And then they x-ray the feet and they see that the horse has got rotation, and suddenly the two go together. Suddenly we've got rotation because this is what they've been taught, because this is the thought process. So we've got rotation and we've got high insulin levels, we've got laminitis. Now I have to tell you that no doubt that horse has got inflamed laminae. Absolutely, it will be. But they've put two things and conflated the two. Because rotation is purely, now it depends what vet you talk to, because I can have a hoof capsule that has P3 in a perfect place, and we have got just diet and management getting in and causing problems with the laminae, just diet and management, and P3 is fine. And sometimes they call that rotated because you've got some separation here. But true rotation, which shouldn't really be called rotation, it's displacement of the distal phalanx around the distal interphalangeal joint, is when it goes like that and it rotates on that bottom of P2 there. And it can only do that by the hoof capsule moving. Now, I know the world has told everybody that that's the opposite, but if you've been sticking around us for long enough, you'll work out that we worked it out a long time ago that that is not true. That separation of the laminae here does not cause this to rotate. How do we know? Well, because you can take an animal that has got rotation and his insulin levels are perfectly normal, absolutely fine, nothing wrong with them. Equally, you can, which they've done with tests on animals and tests on horses, you can take an animal and overload them with sugar to bring on laminitis, that horrible, awful feeling and pain, and they can't create rotation. Rotation and laminae being inflamed are not always the same thing. Rotation is always incorrect hoof care. Now, it may have started because the hoof was looking distorted and the person was taking off the toes and the heels were growing. That's why it happened, almost always. You can have laminitis caused by, so that's laminitis caused by diet and caused by incorrect hoof care, because that's making that, there definitely ain't no doubt about it, the laminae are inflamed. Then you can have diet and management causing laminitis. One will not cause rotation. It will not cause rotation. Then in the middle, you can have incorrect hoof care causing the rotation, and the horse has got laminitic problems as well, which is what's going on here, as in diet and management laminitis. Laminitis is straight down the middle of, I'm causing it because it's incorrect hoof care, and I'm causing it because I've got diet and management issues. And so you take this away, you don't necessarily take the rotation away. You take this away, boop, as in incorrect management, incorrect trimming, you don't necessarily take this away. Right? So the world has got to stop thinking of laminitis as this big brush. We paint over everything. As soon as we see any remote bit of rotation, boom, that's what it is. But like I said, depending on the x-rays, you can have an x-ray with P3 in the right position, but the hoof wall is out here because we've got diet and management issues predominantly. That some vets will mark as rotation. It isn't rotated. P3 is not rotated. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got horses' feet, and this is terrible too. You've got horses' feet that are rotated, but they've been chopping off the toe so much to make this hoof, the dorsal wall in line with the hoof pastern axis, that they've not noticed this getting higher and higher until eventually this gets so high the horse is like, boom, I'm gone. I'm hurting. I can't walk. And the vets go x-ray it. Laminitis with the brush, as in it was. They're going to time management, right? It's simple, but they've confused it. So the second you see actual displacement around the distal interphalangeal joint of P3, that, which they call rotation, that is, my friends, all down to hoof care. Every single time. Is diet and management involved as well in terms of the problems the horse is suffering from in the body? Probably, but not always. Not always. Let's go back and have a quick look at that. Let's finish what she said there. So, can you see this, Gary?
Yeah.
Blum, 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 blum. So do you see what we've got? We've got him gaining weight. He's putting a lot of weight on. We've not been told what he's been feeding, because if he's living in a dry lot and he's not getting grass, how is that happening? So we're not getting all the information we need quite yet. Heather, we need a little bit more information. So now he's got 10-degree rotation. See, that's one thing. which is not linked to that. But the equine world have gone, oh, it's all the same thing. It isn't. He is on ferrocoxid, insulin-wise, thyrol. Hay is weighed. Why? Why are we weighing hay if it's the right hay? Do you weigh your grass? Some is soaked, no grass. So off the grass now, but he wasn't, was he? He was on grass, but he was limited grass. So what is going on that this horse who is in a dry lot on no grass has gained so much weight? And look at him. I don't know when this photo was taken, Heather, but he's got a big crest here, and he's chunky boy. Chunky boy, isn't he? Ration balancer for feed. See, what feed? What? Why are you feeding him? Why would you feed a horse that is overweight anything more than just giving him his hay, which you're also weighing and soaking? Get the right hay, which is mixed meadow hay. So it's not got any rye in it, no alfalfa in it. If you're struggling to get what is mixed meadow, so if you've got teff, if you've got Bermuda, if you've got Rhodes, if you've got orchard grass, Timothy, those are the sorts of things. If you can only buy those in single species, you've got to get them and you've got to mix them together. But you don't have alfalfa and you don't have rye and you don't use cereal hays, right? None of that. And then they don't need to have it soaked because they need to just movement. If the dry lot is just a tiny dry lot or even a bigger dry lot, you're going to have to put the hay around in places to encourage that movement. You've got to think of calories in, calories out. If they're not moving very much, then they're going. Well, it doesn't matter if they're only taking in a little bit of calorie. Doesn't sound right. They're not expending that energy. So we need calories in. There's got to be, when we're losing weight, less than what's going out, isn't it? We want to be spending more time getting rid of the calories. So we need to encourage movement. That's number one. We cut out all feed. Never feed an animal that is overweight. Don't ever do that. Cut it all out. Doesn't need a balancer. Get rid. Out with all of it. And just give hay. Nothing more than hay. The right hay. He never looks off at a walk. The Lamanitis presents it a trot only. I tell you what, if he's got rotation, that'll be hurting. That'll be hurting. And when you trot, bang, 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 that's not good news for an animal with rotation. And if they're taking his toes off, Heather, because we need to see pictures of that, all that pressure is going straight up through the sole. And who knows what's happening to the tip of P3. So can we have some x-rays, please? Can you give us x-rays and can you give us photos of the feet, my lovely? And then we can have a look and we can give you a much better view. But there's two things going on here. Incorrect hoof care and incorrect diet and management. So that's three things. So you have got a job on your hands. But if we can see the x-rays, please, and if we can see the feet, we can help you out. Okay? Two things that need to be sorted out. This bit here, the 10-degree rotation, is not to do with that. And if they're telling you that, you'll never fix this. Because this is going to take a bit of time to come down, but he's going to cut out all of those bits and bobs, get that exercise going. But of course, you don't want to be exercising an animal that's got problems with rotation. Right? So let's get that hoof care right first. So let's see the x-rays.
Vivian's just commented. Apparently, the x-rays are in the comments.
Oh, thank you, Vivian.
Oh, that might be worth that. Thank you, Vivian.
Let's go. Oh, hang on. Sorry. All comments. Let's go down and have a look. Diddly. Oh, I love this. I saw this the other day. Did you see this, Gary?
Yes, I did, and it's bloody amazing.
I love that. I don't know where you got that from, but that is perfect, right?
I think we need to nick that and put it in the featured bit at the top.
Nick it and put English on it. I love it. I've seen you post that before. Thanks, Vivian. Marvelous. Oh, here we go. Love looking at a few x-rays. Right. Oh, come on. Come on, come on. Okay, so what we got going on here? Okie dokie. Well, we've got a little bit of remodeling. It's flattening itself out there because P3 is a little bit too hyper positive. You can see that. Oh. And yet they're trying to get the hoof pattern axis in play. Doesn't look like they're taking too much toe off. So that's good news. But we've got very high heels, and there probably is some toe, because I doubt if this part of the toe wall's on the ground, which means that we got sole on the ground. So what do we need to do? We need to get these heels down to the hard sole plane. We need to be finding out what's going on with the hard sole plane. So before it's too late, we don't want this to carry on any more than it is already. So that's the right for. So Heather, let's have those pictures of those feet. Let's get you trimmed up properly. Let's get your boy trimmed up properly. It is a boy, isn't it? Dice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, well, we've got a little bit of mediolateral imbalances going on there. Well, it goes hand in hand, my lovely, with incorrect trimming, because they're not trimming to the hard sole plane. So P3, it's the hoof care professional guessing where the heels need to be, unable to balance from heel to toe because of what they're doing to the foot, which causes P3 to be in the wrong position. If they're doing that, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're leaving too much hoof wall in play around the quarters, and therefore we're getting mediolateral imbalances. So if you look at this, you can see that this is tighter here, this space here, than it is here. That's where the pastern joint is between P1 and P2. And look here, we can see it again. We've also got some side bone beginning. You see what starts to happen? And this is all down to imbalances. The foot is having imbalances. So you've got two problems, but one of them is three, I suppose. Trimming, diet, and management. This is a trimming problem. This is a trimming issue. So we need to get that sorted, and then you can be working on the diet and the management as well. All right. So this is important. But you're being told, you look at that and you go, oh, laminitis caused that. Well, it didn't, did it? It was incorrect hoof care that caused that, just as it was incorrect hoof care that caused P3 to be in the wrong position in the foot, in the hoof capsule. Come on, world. Catch up. Catch up. Catch up. All right. Okay, let's go. Let's just close that. Just see if there's any more photos that she's put in there. She may have put some photos. No, probably not. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So it's important. It's important. I think one of the things that we're trying to do with this group, guys, is we're trying to explain to you and trying to teach you that you shouldn't be conflating the two. The world has always done that. They can't prove it, and we've proved it. So don't conflate the two. I will. Thank you very much. And we're going to finish this soon because I got to go and tidy up. Ooh. Aston, hello, my lovely. Where are you today? Are you with your horsey, or because you're in South Africa? Question, please. My mare currently has access to varied tall and short mixed South African grass species as grazing. Can't get her on track yet. It's okay. And access to good quality hay as ad lib. Good. No rye anywhere. Excellent. She's eating more grass currently than at previous yards, which had poor grazing, but does also eat her hay. I wish she would eat a lot more hay, but can't control this currently. Question. Will she eat the hay she needs? Well, no, because she'll eat grass.
Not necessarily. It depends which tastes best. That's basically what it is. It's about what tastes best, and if she's a bit of a sugar junkie, she'll go for the stuff that's more sweet.
She will eat.
Depends on the grasses, really.
She will eat the hay because she'll be like, "No, I need fibre now." Just a bit like you go. I just need veg. Well, some people in the world do. Please give me a plate of veg now. I've been eating that stuff I'm on holiday. I've been eating all that stuff, and it's making me feel. I just want some vegetables. That's a bit like they feel with the hay. So they can eat a bit of grass and they go, please give me some hay. So it's important that you have it there. But as they start to eat less hay, they're eating more grass, like this, grass, hay. And you want it to be hay, grass. And I know that that's what you're desperate for. They're a bit tricky. The only way that you can achieve that is once they've eaten all the grass away, and then they go back onto the hay, or you reduce the amount of grass. That's tricky, isn't it? Emma's here. Hello, Emma Daly. Hello, good to see you. Started my first.
You're going to
Phoenix
like
trim.
this one, Linz. It made me smile.
Started my first Phoenix trim this week. 2 sessions in, and I still haven't finished.
You can do it, Emma. It'll soon be 8 horses a day. 8 horses a day, minimum.
I did 7 the other morning. Yeah, before breakfast. Just you can do it. You can do it. And you know, it may be that you anyway, whatever. Send us pictures. Put pictures up in the group and we might be able to help you. But that did make me laugh. Right, on that note, we're gonna go. We've been on an hour, just over an hour and 5. So Gary will put the link up. So when you see other people going, where's the live? You can go, they've done it. We were there. Na 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 na. And then you can put the link up. All right, folks. We won't see you tomorrow night because we've got a teaching lesson, like I told you, for our students. But we will see you Thursday.
We'll see you
Will see you Friday. Ordinary, usual time, 8 p.m. UK time. All right, then. Go see my daughter. Bye-bye. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.